What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of my modded NASCAR Thunder 2004 career mode. And I have got some small news for you guys. Now, since when this video comes out, it's going to be quite old because I'm recording this in advance. They have released a brand new update tool for the modded careers and modded race nows and things like that. Personally, I have been enjoying the first tool that they released, and I've talked to AJ, who created the mod pack, and a little bit about it. And it's only because I like the freedom I have with it, so I could kind of manipulate it how I want to. And as you guys are probably well aware of, year two, we haven't won as many races as we did in year one, due to the fact that, of course, the cost cap is in my mind, plus a few other things as well. But we have also added in drivers like Dave Blaney, John Andretti, Todd Bodine, just to name a few. And I've got some updates for you guys, as you can probably tell already. Todd Bodine, there was a patch release update for Todd Bodine. Don't mind his head and his facial features not looking all that great. As a matter of fact, I just realized that some of these guys don't have the greatest design, except for maybe Tony Raines. Like Tony Raines' sprite looks great because he was supposed to be in the game and he never was. So Todd Bodine looks a little digitally on the head there, as you can see. Had to look over at the other monitor to make sure I was pointing in the right direction. But I like the freedom that I get from the mod pack and how things are. So I wanted to do that. Now, Derek Cope still hasn't actually been created yet. He's still a work in progress, but we did get Larry Foyt's car. There were some small issues with the car originally. I don't know if we've actually fully solidified that yet, but I'm willing to check it right now. And hopefully if we see them, we can talk about that. But before we go any further, let's go back and check on some of the cars. Just to see if there have been any updates and things like that. As you can see, blue drivers are actually now considered Busch Grand National or Busch Series drivers. For example, I moved Kenny Wallace in my head canon. I moved him from full-time to part-time because he's only like 30 somethingth on in the standings, and that's not the greatest. We've also got Brett Bodine. He was a privateer owner driver, but due to a variety of circumstances, he wound up not really finishing 2003 as a season because money was a problem, if I remember correctly. I think that was correct, and I could be wrong, and somebody in the comments can correct me. As you know, we got our Miller Lite Rusty Wallace Dodge, we got our Kodak Films Pontiac, and a few others. And scrolling even further down, we got Jack Sprague. There's Dave Blaney in the Jasper engines number 77. As you guys can see, Tony Raines in the Base Motorsport Chevrolet. Todd Bodine. As you guys could remember, Todd Bodine didn't have a scheme. And you'll see a few others that don't have a scheme. John Andretti is still considered full-time right now in the series because I do feel like the 43 car does need to be on the track. I could have put Christian Fittipaldi back on track in the game, but I really didn't want to. Respectfully, I just don't want to. I don't want to put Christian Fitty back in the game due to the issues that me and him have with each other. I do feel like it's probably better fitting for John Andretti to be behind the wheel of the car, although he is going to have that rookie stripe no matter what. As you guys can realize, Scott Pruitt, Derek Cope don't have their colors, but they did update Larry Foyt. Now, prior to me recording this, we actually had some small issues with it, and I helped them. I helped point it out that there were some small issues, and it's good that this got fixed. So Larry Foyt is officially in the game with his Harris Dodge in the 14 car. So hopefully we'll see him on track. As you guys know, Mike Wallace is in the game. So is Jimmy Spencer. We moved Stanton Bear from full-time to part-time. Scott Wimmer is in here in the 23 Stacker 2 Chevrolet, which is from the Busch series. I could make him full-time or part-time. I'm hoping that eventually we'll see Scott Wimmer come onto the track at some point, but that's just a little bit later on down the line. And then of course, we've got the legendary drivers, but it looks like we're kind of sort of moving forward in the series of mods. What I've done ahead of this episode was I went into the mod tools sheet, and if you want to know about the mod, prior to the update, or even the newest one that AJ has created by himself, essentially with a lot of people's help. Okay, I always say by themselves because sometimes, you know, a lot of people don't like being mentioned, but AJ has been working really hard on a tool, a master mod tool that will be linked down in the description. But the master mod tool is designed to kind of simplify the process of working with the mod, making the mod what you wanted to make it and how you want to make it. I'm not somebody that likes to do things in the simplest way. So for me personally, yeah, I didn't do all that. So if I can, I will show you guys exactly what I have done prior to today's event. So I took some time out to finagle with the mod and everything. There's a lot of different numbers, and believe me, if you just looked at this and you got your eyes crossed, all you need to worry about is the blue numbers, the numbers that are actually highlighted here. So AJ worked on getting, you know, the speed, aggression, defense numbers, control, the control numbers for the drivers, as well as their durability, aka how often they may or may not fail to finish the race, if I'm not mistaken. Again, this is all on his old tool. They've created a brand new tool for this. Trust me, it's actually a lot easier, but I really wanted to basically put myself through the torture. And then since I made the changes on this and then they released the tool the very next day, I wanted to stay with the old tool. And I think I might just stay with the old tool just because of the sheer numbers and the sheer fact that I'm actually beginning to understand this a little bit more. So I have created, based on their numbers, we're currently using year 3 numbers, which means that the field is like around a 220 spread. The max is 256. Can't go beyond that. If you go beyond that, the game starts to wig out. So it's a max 220 field spread, and there's supposed to be some variation between the cars so that you start getting those like long distance packs, which we started seeing at tracks like Pocono and things like that. I'm gonna try to speed this up as best as I can. So what I've done was that I've increased the amount of defense. So I wanted the drivers to defend a little bit more, but I've also lowered the amount of their control. Now, if you guys remember NASCAR Thunder 03, in the one video that I've done, and believe me, there is a plan to do this more in Thunder 03, or do more Thunder 03 going forward. I just got really tied up with NASCAR Thunder 04's mod, and I apologize, but it is it's really taking over my life right now. So Thunder 03 is back on the back burner until I get over the Thunder 04 thing right now. And because of the mods and the new skins and the textures and all this other craziness, I can't move forward yet. But so AJ kind of advised not to increase the numbers. I'm somebody that's kind of crazy, and as you guys have probably know, you guys have seen, I personally don't care to follow rules. So I increased their defense. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more defending out of the AI today at Sonoma, but hopefully we'll also see them making a few mistakes. I want to see how low I can get it for that sweet spot so that they are making those mistakes, because, you know, at one point we were running a few races without a caution, and unless I cause it, which I know you guys don't want me to cause the cautions, and by me causing the cautions is me just wrecking my rivals. I'm not doing anything like just spinning myself out on purpose to cause a yellow. But I know you guys are kind of probably not really happy about that type of style. I know there's like a natural flow for the race that needs to happen, and personally I'm tired of being that dirty driver that kind of, you know, wrecks people. It just doesn't really fit my style. Like, yeah, I want to race hard, but I don't really want to be that wrecker. So I have gone through and tried to finagle with their control a little bit. I took away like 5% of their control. If I feel like it, I could probably take away just a little bit more, and I just might, just to see where that sweet spot is. And you guys will basically be with me on the journey of me working through this mod. So if you guys ever wonder, like, what am I working with? It's this is what I'm working with. And again, thanks to AJ for creating this whole entire thing, because without it, honestly, we wouldn't even have modding on the PCSX2 version of the NASCAR Thunder emulator. I mean, I even can change the schedule. As you guys can probably tell, there's Martinsville nighttime that is set for race 24. because I just didn't want to do another Bristol race with just the Sharpie 500. I didn't really want to do another Bristol personally. And I wanted to kind of see how the, modding works when you start changing out things. Add in the fact that AJ already did make one change, which is race 28's Dover race. Instead of it being the Dover 400, which is the night Dover race, he put it to the Dover 2, which is the only other day race, which is supposed to be the Delaware 400. Now that is in there. I can see it on the schedule, but personally I wanted to add another short track, and that was Martinsville nighttime. Martinsville under the lights never really happened until like way later in history, or way later in the future at this point. So I wanted to kind of bring that in a little early, and that's why we have that on the schedule. And I feel like it would be a good race to have, especially, for race number 24. I think that really works out. So forgive me for manipulating the schedule just a little bit, but that was in my headcanon of things that I want to do. So we're currently on the Dodge Save Mart 350, then we go to Daytona, and then next season I do plan on probably manipulating the schedule a little bit more to kind of bring a different feel to the career mode, but that's kind of like up in the air. And I'll probably create like a little like poll or something for you guys to kind of weigh in on, because I don't want to just make the changes and then you guys have to sit through it. I want to hear from you guys like, hey, if this is a good idea, or hey, this is a bad idea, and let's try to open up that dialogue, because I want it to be a healthy dialogue between you guys and I, so that we can kind of craft season 3, because I am planning a season 3 right now, so that we can craft season 3 around this mod and embrace it. Now, right now I do have to create a new PNatch every single time to incorporate higher levels of competition. So for example, one of these files has it somewhere. Well, you'll see. We have different ability. We have the ability now to also give different weights to the tracks themselves. So I'm hoping that we can see more of that happening throughout the event. I'm also working on data calculations to try to make the drivers a little bit different. We might see a little crazy things in qualifying. I don't think there's going to be anything insane, hopefully, but I do want to see some new faces up near the front as well. And I really want to see how random we can make each race. That way it's not like the same 5 drivers every time. I also want to be challenged. Legend difficulty with a car that I have, I shouldn't be running up near the top 10, honestly, and yet here I am. So that's a long-winded way to basically say there is a lot going on behind the scenes with NASCAR Thunder 04. And yeah, so I say all that to say, if you decided to skip the entire beginning, good for you, because there was a chapter at the bottom of this and you could have skipped through that entire explanation and you didn't have to worry about sitting through this for the last 13 minutes. And again, I apologize, but I really wanted to explain what I've been doing and trying to do with this to make it a little bit more competitive for myself, but also make it a little bit more exciting for you guys. I've also changed the paint scheme heading into the Dodge Save Mart 350. As you guys know, this was one of the races that we won last season as a rookie. We drove pretty well, pretty solidly, but I do have my own concerns about Infineon. And only one way to find out how that will work out, right? We just go and do it. So we're gonna grab our generic equipment, and by generic, we're not gonna bring our best motor because we got some better tracks coming up soon. So I do think that our, you know what? I am fine with using motor number 2 because of how low durability it is right now. And then of course, body number 2 as well. So a 64 rated car. I mean, for this to be our hybrid, because we don't have the space in our shop to make short track and road course cars yet, like in its entirety. For this to be our hybrid short track road course car, this is pretty solid. I think this was around the same rate that we had before. So let's go ahead and go right onto the track. And again, sorry for talking y'all's ears off. I'm really excited for this mod. Qualifying at Sonoma is always going to be tough because you never know what kind of car you're going to get. And right now, I feel like we got one of the best cars out here. Now, I sat back and watched practice, watched the practice times. And when I say the AI was running 1 minute 10.1s, that is the fastest I've ever seen the AI run Sonoma. So let's just say that the mod works and I finally got it. But what I also noticed is that they're a little out of control. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that as a people who make mistakes, you can see them making mistakes. So what I've done is I've also adjusted the AI. Some AIs were picked up their rookie stripes again. Jamie McMurray, Casey Mears, and all that. So this is not the first time of me recording a qualifying lap. I didn't realize that at the time, but it was bad. Their qualifying time is a 1 minute 10.8. Again, I saw AI run a lot faster. Also, I'm all over the track trying to talk to you guys. I don't know if this is a good lap though. This might not be the greatest of a lap. I should probably just abort it, but I really want to run as many laps as possible, really figure out this this setup here and figure out what kind of car I got here at the track. And right now, I'm not really confident. I'm confident enough in the fact that we do have a car that can win, but all things considered, with the AI running 1:10.1 and the qualifying time is 1:10.8, I feel like I'm gonna get steamrolled as soon as the race starts. I wanted a challenge though. I'm not saying I wanted to just walk away with it. I wanted a challenge. Yeah, 1:10.807. Not the greatest, not bad. Let's go race.
NASCAR Winston Cup racing in the Sonoma Valley today. EA Sports is live with flag-to-flag coverage of today's Dodge Save Mart 350 from the Infineon Raceway. It always makes it interesting to watch these drivers have to turn left and right.
This track really shows off a driver's talents. This is truly a course where your skill alone can mean the difference between finishing first and 41st.
The 53 car seems to be having some problems on the track with his competitors.
A little bumping now and then is okay. They just need to make sure it doesn't get any more serious.
Michael Waltrip joined DEI at the start of the 2001 season and got a win in his very first race for his new team.
He followed that up with some impressive runs at the restrictor plate tracks. He's always had a knack for drafting, and with top-notch equipment, you'll be sure to see him up near the front.
Johnny Benson will start this race a little further back than he's used to.
I spoke to the crew chief this morning, and he told me they just missed the setup in qualifying. But he expects his driver to make his way up through the field and get a good finish without much problem.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Okay. Dang it, Junior.
Got a car on your left, buddy. Stay focused. You can get the lead back. Hold it steady. 3 wide.
Dang it, DEI. I just got hit by Michael Waltrip that time. Okay. We got hit off the track. I'm not a happy camper about that. I'm actually not a happy camper at all. But that's okay.
Got one on your right. You gained another position with that pass. You're clear.
So I believe that's my 10th pole in the season, with us winning the pole. But I do hope that that means that we have a car that can possibly win. And I don't put in the wall right here.
Number 5 wants to get by you. We're off the pace. Everything okay? 3 wide. Hold that line.
Wow. Did y'all see that? The 15 and the 31 just kind of drove into the corner like they had no control over their car. The 5 car getting loose in the corner. So in order to address this now, if you see a rookie stripe on a driver, there is a slim chance that they might not actually be correct. We got a small issue with some cars getting their rookie stripes back, aka the 2000 Jamie McMurray, Casey Mears, all of them. Basically the entire 03 class has returned with their rookie stripes. I need to figure out what happened because that wasn't happening before.
Got a car on your left, buddy.
You know, it sounds a little chaotic here in the mid-pack, but I believe this is actually what real life NASCAR is.
Okay, we're clear. We're down a spot. Keep digging. 73.
Into the wall. Our car is just not getting through the corners properly. And I just completely cut that corner. Glad track limits don't exist in NASCAR like they do in F1.
Watch it. There's a car on your left. You're clear.
Bro, Robbie.
Don't be surprised if he pays you back for that.
It was not my intention to hit John Andretti.
He's a little angry with your driving style. Be careful, buddy.
You know, when I was messing with the control aspect of the cars, I did not expect my own car control to just completely plummet to the ground. Not good, because we have a bunch of cars that just came off pit road. Not even better. I'm further back in the field. So now we got our work cut out for us. I did say I wanted a challenge, right? Let's get 4 fresh tires on this. We're gonna ride it all the way to the end. Everybody else is gonna come down pit road. We're gonna get the repairs done to the car as well, and that should hopefully, we'll also probably go down like half a round of wedge as well. So that should hopefully fix what we need. And let's go ahead and repair. Yeah, we got to repair damage. Kevin Harvick's decision to go down pit road is now looking a lot smarter. Dang it. What was going through my mind prior to me wrecking was coming down pit road anyway by myself and then just kind of merging in with the second group that had already pitted. But I did not expect a pit stop to happen under yellow. Oh, and then of course we had some damage, some time wasted. Yeah, lots just for us.
Some guys stayed out to gain track position.
So I'm gonna have to pick up my team. I'm gonna pick up myself, and we'll just have to work it out.
Green flag, and the green flag is out. We're back underway. The leader leads the field down into the turn. Side by side racing in the...
Hi, buddy. 5 to go.
Oops.
There's a guy on your right. That's another.
I definitely cut that corner.
The 43 car is trying to block you. Clear.
Hey, Mike Wallace.
On your right. Number 7 is still there. The 7 car is still there. Someone got by you. Let's go after it. Clear on both sides.
I do apologize, John Andretti.
Watch it. There's a car on your left. The 99 car is looking right. 3 wide. Hold that line.
The fact that Kenny Wallace stayed on my inside after I dove on him and he did not lift. I'm aware, but I'm trying to make up what I've lost.
Still there. Careful. Okay, we're clear.
Man, Michael Waltrip has really beat up his car, hasn't he?
There's a guy on your right. We're down a spot. Keep digging. Still there. Be patient. Clear on both sides.
So we've made it through the field here, but we're still hard at work to get up the track. Get up the field.
Watch it. There's a car on your left.
Oof.
The 6 car is looking to pass.
Sometimes I swear that hairpin is a lot more deceptive than it should be. It feels really like it's not supposed to be that fast coming on, like oncoming to you, but it just
74.
it feels fast.
I want to see more of those laps. Good job.
So the good news is we've started rebounding. We're just outside the top 10. There's a couple of guys up here near the front that I don't think should be up here.
Got a car on your left, buddy.
Just remember, he owes us one now.
I got into the 21 and the 25, but it's whatever.
Okay, we're clear.
Johnny Benson's in front of me. Hopefully he doesn't put up too much of a fight.
On your right.
Whoa. Okay.
Clear.
Was not expecting him to do that to me.
Go easy on those Eagles, driver.
Got a car on your left, buddy. Number 24 is coming right. Clear on both sides.
Seeing Ken Schrader up here is awesome. Oh, Jeff Gordon made a mistake.
91.
That's as quick as you've been all day. Only 8 seconds back to the leader. Stay hungry.
Got one on your right. Up another spot. Still there. Hold your line. He's still there. Okay, we're clear.
I'll try to get around the 32 here.
On your right. We're up another position. Clear on both sides.
Okay, top, still top 10. 2 more positions and we'll be in the top 5. Which means we got to pass Jamie McMurray at least. Not a win,
There's a guy on your
but a
right.
definite rebound for us.
The 88 car speeding on you. Good pass. Okay, we're clear.
Yo, did y'all see that? That man hit me. Don't lose your cool now. Every time you lose your cool, what happens? You get screwed. Dale Jarrett just hit me and almost spun me out.
Got one on your right. Don't worry about the car. It looks okay. Picked off another.
Screw you, Dale Jarrett.
Number 88 all over your back bumper. You're clear. There's a guy on your right. Clear on both sides.
Could have been after Jeremy Mayfield.
Number 42 just got into you. On your right.
Rivalry renewed. Rivalry renewed. I don't think I can get Jeremy Mayfield.
Okay, we're clear.
I think Mayfield might actually have a top 4.
Got a car on your left, buddy.
He's a little angry.
Threw it in there, but I just can't get him.
Clear.
I couldn't get him, but I did. Oh,
Nice job.
yes! I used up the car a little bit more than I wanted to, but that is fine. Tony Stewart wins, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, and then I pipped Jeremy Mayfield at the line. Perfect. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, I guarantee there's at least 35 or 40 other drivers who wish they'd seen the lead.
The 53 car definitely got a little banged up, and it shows what an effect it can have on your finish.
Well, you're bound to have bad days in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. The key is having a team that can put everything back together and continue forward at the same time.
What are y'all talking about?
The 53 car now has one less friend in the garage area.
You don't make it into Cup racing without being competitive, and sometimes those instincts get a little out of hand. It should be fun to see what happens next.
Thanks for watching the NASCAR Winston Cup Series on EA Sports. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
Not the finest race I could have had, but I definitely felt the ratcheted intensity of the mod actually, doing its job, which is awesome to say the least. Now, it does suck that I didn't get a chance to lead a lap, but from what I can tell, I did not see Jeff Gordon nor Dale Jr. near the top of the standings. Now, I did see Tony Stewart, obviously. He won the race, but I do feel like the point standings are a little bit closer. I did gain on Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr., who finished 11th. But real quick, just a quick shout out to some of the new drivers that we kind of saw in the race today. And I, of course, welcome back to Hermie Sadler. I don't think he's been in the race the last few times. So is Bill Elliott, obviously. Larry Foyt actually made a start in his new car, so that's nice to see for Larry Foyt. Mike Wallace, I believe this is his first start so far as well. So it's cool to see Mike Wallace actually on the track and running. So that is awesome. Again, it does suck that we do have some. Oh, Brett Bodine's back. It does suck that we do have some drivers showing their rookie stripes again. Can't really fix that. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Top 10 is Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, me, Jeremy Mayfield, because I've got him at the line, or as close to the line as possible. He slowed down on the straightaway. That's probably why he was upset. I might have actually damaged him a lot more than I thought I did. Then there's Dale Jarrett, Jamie McMurray, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, and Ricky Craven rounding out your top 10. Some very interesting drivers coming up from the back to the front, but overall definitely felt like a good race. I can't wait for Daytona because I'm gonna ratchet it up again just to see what that's gonna be like. I might actually not like ratchet it up too much. I don't want them to be like foreign alien type drivers out there, but I do want them to be a little bit faster, and I'm gonna finagle with it a little bit, so can't wait for that. Let's head back to Atlanta, assess the damage on our generic car, body, chassis, engine, and see if we can exact any form of repair as necessary. Let's go. When I say a Constantina effect keeps happening with the point standings, as you guys can tell, Dale Jr. is our points leader, but it's 25 points to Jeff Gordon, 91 to me, 92 to Tony Stewart, so he actually gained on me by a lot. And then there's like the rest. Yeah, we also show up to the track. It's become just like this. That is a huge point spread between like first and fifth, being 218 points. But also, yeah, that's a lot. Like the gap is insane. And we got a tie between Ricky Rudd and Kevin Harvick right now. Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson as well as up here. I am beginning to notice though that I think Mark Martin is hanging out in the top 10. So we never know. Any wrong moves by any of us, and we could see Mark Martin up there. For the record, we have seen our 53rd newest driver. I think we had 52 at the start. There's still a placeholder for Derek Cope. He'll come eventually. But Mike Wallace did make his start, his first start ever here in the series, and he finished 28th after starting 36th. So congratulations to Mike Wallace. Picked up 79 points for himself. It's weird that his team is listed as Petty Enterprises in the 09 car. Probably need to double check that at some point. As a matter of fact, a lot of these guys have fantasy team for their name. I wonder if we can change that, because I did notice that I could change, their rookie years. So if I could change their rookie year, I wonder what would happen. Anyways, sorry. Daytona's next, the Pepsi 400. Can't wait for the Pepsi 400. We can't do anything to their car except for maybe repair this engine. And if I'm not mistaken, based on our handy dandy cost cap, because I am sadistic and just want to torture myself with this mess, we have I didn't write down what I did at the end of Michigan. Hold please. Okay, I got it figured out. It was 61K at the end of the last race with Michigan, and into this race we got 270K, which is our typical going rate. So we have 331,000 to work with. Good, perfect. Engine number 2 is going to be the problem. Can't really do anything in the engine or in the body and the chassis. So I think engine number 2 should probably see some TLC right now, all things considered. 63, 90, 63 and 60, 65 and 61. Efficiency doesn't go up by much. Although right now where it's at is our weakest motor efficiency and power wise due to it getting knocked around a little bit. I don't really think overhauling it would be a good idea for us right now. So I think I'll just repair this engine and get this engine into the rotation again in the next 2 races, leaving us with 216,000, which is perfect because the end of Michigan, I was talking about stockpiling money. This is how we start doing the stockpiling part, because I want to go into season 3 with something better. So now we are down to 216,000. So perfect. We got 216K to work with. It's amazing. That's immaculate. That's what I want. Well, I guess it's time for us to go ahead and call this one a race. I do apologize for the long startup, explaining what I've been trying to do. As you guys are probably well aware of, our sponsorship on our car is going up in the next 2 races time. We still got to work on that. So that is something to kind of keep in mind. Daytona is next. Daytona modded with some extra oomph from the AI. Can't wait. If you like today's video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Shout out to AJ once again for making an amazing mod that actually makes the racing a lot more fun and competitive. This has been your host, Neko Darius. Be easy, everybody.